Welcome back to New York, Ray. Ray Curtis from the 2-7, homicide. This is my case.
Mine too, now. Olivia Benson, SVU.
SVU?
Yeah, I got a call the victim showed signs of sexual assault. Your lieutenant said you guys were a little short-handed and my partner is on leave. So I'm here to assist.
Yeah, department cutbacks. Everybody wants more cops, nobody wants to pay more taxes.
And now we're down one more taxpayer.
Who is she?
Name tag says Rachel. Judging from the uniform, she was one of the housekeeping staff. Well, up until a few hours ago.
I guess someone didn't like the mint on their pillow. Hola, soy Detectivo Ray Curtis.
Soy Teresa Restrepo.
Restrepo. Is that Colombian?
Yes, how'd you know?
The neighbors across the hall when I was growing up. They made the best patacones. I get hungry just remembering. I need to ask you a few questions. You okay to talk?
Yes. Believe it or not, I've seen worse.
Let's start with an easy one. Can you tell me the victim's name?
Maybe. It's hard to remember. So many girls working here. Everybody always coming and going. I just learned to read the name tags like everyone else.
Well, could you try? For me?
Sure, you got nice eyes. Let's see. It wasn't Latina. It was Rachel, I think.
Great. Thanks, Teresa. How long has she worked here?
No sé, she was pretty new. Started last month, maybe?
She have any trouble with anyone?
Trouble? No, not her. She was nice, quiet, polite. Actually, no, never mind.
What were you gonna say?
Well, she just never really seemed like one of us, like she had something else going on. Always watching everything and tapping on her phone. Era una adicción.
You say she liked to use her phone. For what? You think she was earning a little extra money?
What, like John's? Are you asking did I think she was a whore, detective? I don't think so. But who knows? It would explain a lot.
Anything else about the phone?
She was always texting. Always. She also did some weird stuff. She took pictures of the rooms and even some guests. For a while, I actually thought she might be a cop.
Where would the phone be now?
Probably nearby. She always kept it close.
See anyone suspicious hanging around lately?
Yeah, the hotel is full of them. Lots of old businessmen always staring at you. Ugh.
Okay. How about anyone especially interested in Rachel?
No, I don't think so. She didn't even have a boyfriend.
One last thing, Teresa. It would help us if we knew the last place Rachel might have been. Do you know which room she would have been cleaning?
That's the weird thing. Today was her day off. She shouldn't even be here.
So what was she doing all dressed up for work?
You're the detective. You figured it out, guapo.
Hey, Benson, what you got?
I'm seeing a lateral bruise across her throat. Not finger marks. More like a pipe or a cane.
No sign of a murder weapon?
Guess we better start looking. While you were busy being charming, I wrote down a couple of things to keep an eye out for. Her ID, her purse, her day planner or notepad, and of course any DNA evidence from her attacker. Might be under her fingernails.
And her cell phone. Teresa mentioned that might be important. Okay, good. We got our cell phone. Rachel Trevino, 27 years old, lives at 600 East 5th Street. Over in the East Village, if I remember right. Broken fingernail. She scratched him up pretty bad, I bet. Some kind of debris under there. Better get a swab for DNA. This could be Rachel's purse. Notebook. Just a couple of notes. Wider media. What the hell does that mean? Got a couple of voicemails, let me see. Yep, sounds like she was meeting somebody here. Okay, this is evidence. Let's get back to the precinct and give it to CSU.
Why not just listen to him now?
I better follow procedure on this one.
Such a Boy Scout.
Hey, if we solve this case, I finally get my murder merit badge.
Come on, I'll drive.
Ray.
Morning, Lenny. Please tell me we got a new lead on the Central Park case.
Oh, sure. If you count nothing, nada, and bupkis.
It's been 6 weeks.
The murder weapon is probably at the bottom of the Hudson. I tell you what, I think we're stalled out, kid.
I hate loose ends, Lenny.
Tell me about it. At my age, I gotta tie him up as fast as I can.
Ray Curtis, as I live and breathe, back in my precinct after all these years. What happened? Finally sick of all that California sunshine?
My girls got worried if I wasn't solving murders, I might start committing them.
You met Detective Benson?
I did. She's good. Definitely easier on the eyes than Lenny Briscoe.
Yeah, but she's made of steel. Don't cross her, Ray.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Hey, I was gonna take this down to CSU. What the hell?
What's wrong?
The voicemails, they're all gone. Someone deleted them all.
And odds are it wasn't our victim. Looks like her carrier is Mercury Wireless. Pete Shanahan down in Fraud told me they've had some problems with security recently.
Mercury Wireless Company policy is pretty clear. I can talk to you up to a certain point, but if we go over, I have to involve corporate counsel. They've instructed me to answer your questions and give you access to any...
Understood. Thanks for your time. Could someone delete voicemails off a phone remotely?
Sure, that's a feature we offer.
How would they do it?
Easy. You just need to have the account PIN number, just like your bank ATM.
Who had access to Rachel Trevino's voicemails?
According to our account record, only Ms. Trevino. There's no one else listed here. The only other persons with authorized access are myself, our customer representative team, and a few independent technical contractors.
I don't believe you.
Why would...
Does the Mercury Wireless network cover most of the city?
Absolutely. We're very proud of it. No drop calls, even in the tunnels.
I'm sort of thinking of switching over.
Great.
Curtis, where are you going with?
Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
I can sign you up today, and I can get you a special policeman's discount. Save some money for extra donuts.
Nice. We're going to need to check all activity on the phone over the weekend.
This isn't Big Brother, despite what you might think. We do track calls, text messages, and data downloads, but not every single interaction.
Really? You sure about that?
Well, there are other records, but those are internal and restricted. I'm not authorized to show you those.
Let's have a look at those restricted records, Mr. Gray.
We prefer not to share those personal customer records. It can project a negative corporate image. It would be a complete invasion.
How about we go get that warrant? Then we can search your restricted records and it all goes public at trial. How do you think your customers will like finding out you kept secret information about them?
Oh my God. All right. I'll look it up.
We're conducting a murder investigation, Mr. Gray. We need to know what happened to those voicemails, and we need to know now.
Sure, we can go get a warrant if that makes you feel better.
But by that time, more of your customers might end up dead, like Rachel Trevino. That makes for a very negative corporate image.
All right. There's no record of who exactly deleted the voicemails. But honestly, someone modified her account about 2 weeks ago.
Who?
This is embarrassing, but it was one of our own contractors. He's a bit of a hacker. He could have accessed her information. He did not have company permission to do this.
But why?
He's a strange guy, detective. Very intense. His name is Tom Newberry. Here's his contact number. One thing, you might not want to call from your precinct.
Oh, why not?
Tom knows how to crack caller ID. He always knows who's calling and from where.
Thanks for the tip.
Weird place for an interview, Curtis.
Witness requested we meet here.
He thinks it's all a big game.
I get the impression he's young. His mom answered the phone when I first called. Speaking of games, good cop or bad cop?
Bad cop, definitely.
Suits me.
Call me Anonymous.
We already have your name and phone number, dumbass.
Where were you on Saturday night?
Everywhere.
Tom, we can go downtown right now if that's how you want to play it.
Sorry, I was online, on a raid.
Anyone corroborate this?
About 20 warriors in my guild.
Let me rephrase. Did anyone real see you?
Yeah, my mom. I live with her. She was there the whole time.
Yeah, I talked to your mom on the phone already. She know you're out this late?
Hilarious.
Did you know Rachel Trevino?
She mentioned your name on her blog.
She did? Oh my God, really? What'd she say about me? Does she like me? Does she want to meet?
You sure you didn't know her? Or want to know her? I mean, you're smart, Tom. All you had to do was hack in, learn her secrets, get close.
No, it's not like that.
But she still wouldn't have you. It drove you crazy. And then, things just got out of control. It's not your fault. Am I right?
Wait, what's not my fault? What are you talking about? Look, you gotta believe me. I didn't know this girl. I don't know any girls.
It's okay, Tom. I believe you. We believe you. Calm down.
Rachel was killed the other night. I just had to make sure you weren't playing us.
We talked to some people at Mercury Telstar. You have a reputation there. People said you're good. Too good, maybe.
We thought you might have done something illegal, but they said their security is way too tough for you to crack.
Please, I wrote their security. The firewalls, the protocol encryption, it's all me, Detective.
So, you could crack a voicemail account?
Stupid easy.
What about deleting voicemails?
In my sleep, Detective.
And what did Mercury Telstar think of that? So, Tom, how many FTPs do you have?
Where'd you learn that word? You're using that word wrong.
FTPs. Do you have them?
Someone taught you a computer word and you're using it wrong. Just stop.
So, why would a nice guy like you want to delete voicemails?
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't.
Curtis, can I tase this guy?
Tom, I think you're starting to irritate my partner.
You like games, Tom? Let's play a game. It's called Detective Benson Likes You for a Murder. I throw you in jail, and you try to survive as long as you can against the drug addicts and the gang members who live there. You can post the results on your blog.
I can picture the Facebook update now.
I just... Okay. There was another reason.
Why would your old company accuse you of hacking?
Mercury Telstar hates me. They'll accuse me of anything. I'm a rogue anarchist activist. Those accounts are my playground.
And you hacked Rachel Trevino's.
I don't know. No. No. Why are you asking?
Your old company seems to think you did, and you apparently possess the skills.
No, I don't. Look, for instance, I couldn't have gotten through their firewall, right? No way. The protocol...
You're lying, twerp.
Totally not lying, Detective.
Remember how you were bragging on how you wrote the security?
Oh. Right.
That gives you means. Now we just need motive and opportunity.
Hey, wait a second. You didn't Mirandize me. I know my rights.
Oh, Tom, this is just an interview, not an arrest. So sorry. Miranda doesn't apply.
What is this another reason?
Well, I was paid to access the account, of course.
By who?
I don't want to say.
You better say. Or do we need to call your mom and tell her you're running a hacking ring out of her basement?
Oh, Jesus, no. Look, don't get her involved. That woman has enough problems. These people are powerful.
Names. We need names.
I don't know their names.
But you know they're powerful? How does that work?
We only did business over the phone. They had their caller ID blocked, so I never knew their names.
You know what? Playtime is over. You better start coughing up solid answers or I'm throwing you in Rikers, and your mom will have to spend her last cent to post your bail.
Okay. But listen, I only hacked the accounts to sell the voicemail passwords.
Passwords? Plural?
Yeah, I did a lot of them. Celebrities, politicians, you name it. Then I sold the passwords to this lady named Gwendolyn Scott. She's like a PR flack.
Did she ask you to mess with Rachel's account?
Yeah, I figured it was corporate espionage or something. You know, what do I care? Let the capitalist pigs brawl in the mud. Who's it gonna hurt?
Rachel Trevino.
Have a great night, Deep Throat.
We're going to start by what we call defining your moment.
Gwendolyn Scott?
Yes.
I'm Detective Ray Curtis. This is Detective Benson. We need to talk to you for a minute.
So sorry, I'm busy.
It's important.
My client is important. You can call my office.
You know, a guy named Tom Newberry just gave me this girl's number, PR flack. She likes to buy voicemail passwords and blackmail her clients. Maybe I'll call her instead.
Five minutes. Was that fun, Detective?
Sometimes I like to play rough.
Well, so do I. But a little charm can go a long way.
Sorry, I promise this will only take a moment of your time. You're a busy girl.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
And I promise I won't make up extra questions as an excuse to talk to you longer.
All right, Romeo, settle down. Ask away.
Do you know Tom Newberry?
No. A lot of people know me.
Do a lot of people call you?
Not the right people.
Does the name Rachel Trevino mean anything to you?
No. Should it?
She was murdered last night.
Oh, poor girl. As if life isn't tough enough for housekeeping.
I didn't say anything about her being with housekeeping.
I must have read it in the paper.
Nothing's been released to the papers yet.
It must have been gossip. You know how these things get around, Detective.
Tom Newberry already told us you knew her.
Oh, that Rachel. Of course. My mistake. I can be such an airhead.
What kind of business do you do, Miss Scott?
The PR biz is a very careful, very delicate balance between what you know, what you say, and who you... There was this one guy. Used to be major A-list, now he's major A-hole. Anyway, he crashed his car outside Savannah, stinking drunk and out of his mind on PCP. I mean, who does PCP anymore? He gets out, strips all his clothes off, and flags down a car full of college students. Well, by the time they got to Daytona Beach, they had 2 hours of him ranting about Canadians on their cell phone cameras. I had to pay them each $10,000 for the phones and footage. 40 grand. And on top of that, I had to pay out for...
Enchanting story, Miss Scott. So if I look up your phone records and Tom Newberry called you, and you talked to him more than once, now, would I be crazy to think you're lying to me?
I'd say you were just jealous. Look, I'm sure this is a very important investigation and all.
I'm not the jealous type, Miss Scott.
Fine. Yes, we did business. I paid him for insider...
You paid Tom for what, exactly?
Passwords. I paid Tom for access to voicemail accounts.
So you could delete Rachel Trevino's voicemails?
Look, I really shouldn't say.
Did you want to keep her quiet? Miss Scott, were you involved in her murder?
No, I did delete Rachel's voicemails, yes, but I did it for someone else. On someone else's orders. Understand?
All right, I'm listening. Why don't you tell me a little more? Was someone else involved? Who asked you to delete the voicemails?
A client. I really can't tell you.
I'm gonna find out anyway. I'm actually pretty good at this detective thing.
Well, crap. I guess it's all over for me anyway. Here's the deal. I gave Rachel's password and voicemails to my usual buyer, Alexander Baran.
Alexander Baran, as in CEO of Wider Media? The Russian guy who owns like half the television stations in America?
The very same. Baran bought Rachel's voicemail access from me a few weeks ago, and then told me to delete them all.
Wider Media. Rachel wrote that in her day planner. It didn't click until now. Miss Scott, why was Alexander Baran interested in Rachel Trevino? She's a maid. He's a Russian billionaire. I don't get it.
Rachel Trevino was not a hotel maid. She was an activist, a blogger, and she had uncovered some dirty, dirty secrets about Alexander Baran. He's a very bad boy detective.
What did she find out?
Baran has a problem keeping it in his pants, especially when it comes to housekeeping staff. We've had to cover up a few unsavory encounters. Rachel tried to set up a sting going undercover at the hotel, and I honestly don't know what happened after that, but I think she got in over her head.
Did Baran kill her?
And this is where my lawyer would advise me to keep my mouth shut.
Come on, Gwen.
Oh, now it's Gwen. I like that. Okay, look, all I'm gonna say is the Parkview Regency Hotel has a front desk, right? Ask them who stayed there on Saturday.
That was Cormac at the precinct. Alexander Baran was a guest at Parkview Regency the night Rachel was killed. He checked out earlier today, and he's on his way to MacArthur Airport. He's got a private jet and an appointment in London.
Well, he's gonna be late.
Mr. Baran! Mr. Baran! Detective Curtis, NYPD. We need to talk to you about the murder of a hotel maid over the weekend.
A maid? Are you serious? I'm leaving for London.
Look like about 1.5 inches to you, Ray?
Sure does.
Mr. Alexander Baran, you are under arrest for the murder of Rachel Trevino. You have the right to remain silent.
I don't know why we're wasting time here. I'm a Russian. I have diplomatic immunity.
We did a little research on you, Mr. Baran. Rachel's blog was a very interesting read. Maids? Waitresses? Executives at your own company? Is there any woman you wouldn't hit on? Your mom?
Miss Benson, I am a handsome, virile man. I radiate power. Women are attracted to it despite themselves.
Here's a clue. When a woman is attracted to you, she does not slap you with a sexual harassment lawsuit. You've had 12.
I'm a flirt. I get slapped with all sorts of things.
Did you know Rachel Trevino?
No.
We have DNA evidence that says you did.
What kind of evidence?
A rape kit.
You don't know what you're talking about. It was completely consensual.
So you do know her?
You cops think you have it all figured out. Guess what? We were lovers.
I'm not buying it. Sorry, Charlie. An earlier witness already told us Rachel didn't have a boyfriend. And you lied about knowing her just now. That's 2 strikes.
A jury might see it different. When I left the room, that girl was alive.
You've had 12 lawsuits?
Yes, what of it? They were all resolved.
I'm just impressed. I mean, you gotta be some kind of gentleman to cause that much noise.
I appreciate your sarcasm, but I'm not allowed to discuss the details of my settlements.
Women, they love power. They love machismo. But most of them, when they get their hands on a stallion, all they do is complain about the ride. Am I right?
Yeah.
And these bloggers, they're all feminists, right? Always complaining about guys, especially macho guys. Guys like you.
Sorry. My lawyers have advised me not to take bait so easily offered by a policeman.
Worth a shot.
You had access to Rachel's voicemails, and you destroyed them to cover up your connection.
Not true. I never touched the voicemails.
Nice try. Gwen Scott told us she deleted the voicemails on your orders. You're guilty as sin, Baron.
If you say so.
Rachel knew all about you. She was gathering evidence about you, about unreported assaults.
I wouldn't know anything about that. I never even heard these voicemails you're so very concerned about.
You know, killing the witness to a crime gets you an automatic upgrade to Murder 1.
What crimes? What witness?
Rachel had evidence on you, Baron. She knew what you were up to.
She wasn't a witness to anything. Those voicemails were about an expose, a plan to blackmail me.
So let's say, maybe this girl, Rachel, maybe she liked it a little rough, and you obliged. Consenting adults, right?
Sure, completely consenting.
And the cane could have been involved.
Could have been.
You didn't come forward when you heard about the murder.
I had no reason to. A maid is killed. How is this my business?
She was your girlfriend.
Ah, but you say she is not detective.
Seems like you were trying to avoid this investigation.
No, I had every intention of cooperating.
Uh-huh. In your jet.
He's on vacation in Florida.
You said you were headed to London. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump to Moscow from there, and then you'd be out of our reach.
Your knowledge of geography is so American.
Tell me how the cane fits into this scenario. Was it an accident?
I'm sure it must have been.
Did she ask you to use it?
Yes, she asked me to do it. It was her idea. She liked that kind of thing, I guess. Like I said, it was all consensual. This girl was kinky. She saw my cane. She wanted to try it. She was an adult.
So you admit it?
No. No.
The bruise mark on Rachel's neck matches your cane. You just said she asked you to choke her out.
No, I'm not admitting anything to you people.
Come on, Baran. An innocent girl is dead. You want to be macho? You want to be a man? Why don't you tell the truth for once?
You better wipe that smug smile off your face before you get to Rikers.
Miss Benson, I'm innocent of this offensive charge. My lawyers will have this all thrown out, and my country will protect me.
Really? We can place you at the murder scene. We can connect you to the victim and her voicemails. And your cane is a match for the murder weapon.
Now might be a good time to panic.
That's a hell of a lot of evidence to throw out.
That's why I have a hell of a lot of lawyers. Don't worry, I'll be out in a few days. Then maybe I'll call you, baby.
Gosh, you are just not my type. Come on, Ray. Let's go get a bite. Mr. Baran can stew in his own ick for a while.